Hello everybody. I decided to make a video. It's hard to see, it's dark in here. Well, it's like 5 in the morning. But anyway, I wanted to make this video because I know that there's a lot of people out here that are living a certain way. Now, I've made some pretty fucked up choices in my life. And I've gone through some rough times, even despite the care of my parents, who are wonderful. I still endured some things because I didn't listen to myself, and I didn't listen to the guidance that my parents were giving me, and I ignored it. So I got myself into a lot of different predicaments that weren't good for me. In the same token, while I was making poor choices, I wasn't paying attention to how it was affecting me or the people around me. I lost a lot of good friends because I was making poor choices. You know, I went through my party phase and my having fun phase, and it was all bad. Now, there's nothing wrong with having a good time and enjoying yourself, but once you have children, you have to let go of certain things. There's a lot of young women and young men out here that talk shit about other people and what they do, but they don't realize that they are also doing those same things. Young ladies, whatever happened to you, shit is hard sometimes, but you cannot lose yourself in that stuff. Especially if you have kids, because that's what you teach them. They see that you can yell and you can talk and you can lecture all you want, but unless you're physically doing it yourself, it's not going to stick, and they're not going to take you seriously. There's a lot of young women out here that have children but are never with them. If you have kids, you need to be your ass at home. I don't care how old or young you are. You need to be your ass at home taking care of your children, because this is an imperative time in their life. They're learning how to be an adult. They're growing into being adults. If they don't have the proper guidance, then you have what people like to label as ratchet. That's not fair to them because it's not their fault. Again, ladies, do not be afraid to be by yourself sometimes. You don't always have to be laid up with a man or a woman in order for you to feel like you're accomplishing something. Just because you pay your bills, just because you go to school, just because you work, does not mean that you are grown. It just means that you pay your bills and you go to work and you go to school. If you have a child, your attention needs to be on them. Don't be worried about chasing after some dude that's not even giving 2 cents about you or your child. If you are in a relationship with somebody and you're never home and you're leaving your child at home, and you come home and wonder why their grades are failing, or you want to wonder why they don't respect you, or wonder why they talk to you a certain way, think about the things that you're doing. Are you there? Do you support them when they need you? If you have habits that you know are harmful, you have to learn how to recognize them. You know, everybody copes in their own way, but at what expense are you willing to numb your pain? Everyone has had something terrible happen to them, I'm sure, at some point in their life. A lot of women have been sexually abused. A lot of women have been heartbroken. I've been heartbroken. I've been many things. But there has to be a point where you draw the line and say, okay, I'm a woman and I have to step into that. If you're afraid, that's okay. There are always people out here ready to help you if you ask and if you're open to receiving that help. Baby mamas. I am a baby mama. I'm a mother first, but you know, there's a lot of baby mamas out here. Stop being janky. Because you also had sex, and you carried this child in your womb for 9 months or however long you carried your child, and then you had them, You are a woman. That means you too will have to be a man sometimes. You are here to raise them. Stop worrying about what the next motherfucker is doing and worry about what you're doing. Now, if you're one of those mothers that just like to be out here fucking everybody and that's it, going to the club, partying all night because you're afraid to be alone and you're afraid to be at home with your kids, then it's time for you to take a look in the mirror and say, hey, I have issues, I know this, but now I have to address them. Otherwise, you are creating the type of children that you complain about. People that you say ain't shit, you're creating ain't shit kids. And I speak from experience because I lacked a lot of patience, and for a while I didn't parent my son the way that I should have, and I noticed in his behavior that it just wasn't right to me, and I felt bad because I'm like, that's my fault because he's vulnerable right now and it's my job to take care of him. It doesn't matter if the other party is there or not. You can't control that person. You couldn't control them when you were with them, and you can't control them now. All you can do is what you're supposed to do, and that's taking care of yourself and your child or children. I noticed that when I changed my attitude and my behavior, so did my son. Being short-tempered and having no patience and irritable and yelling all the time, that's not parenting. That's damaging and that's abuse. And I would never, ever, ever want to hurt my son and have him think that that's the way life is supposed to be and that's the way that people are supposed to be. So my reason for posting this video is just that the children are the most important thing we have right now because they shape the future later. Later, they will be going out here into the world. Now, we can choose to make dummies, or we can choose to make intelligent, bright, smart children, young adults full of love and compassion and sense. It's not worth no dick. It's not worth no weave. It's not worth no club. It's not worth no whatever. Take your ass home. Go home. Go home. If you come in the house and your child don't respond to you like they should, you are the problem, not the child. If you are in a relationship with somebody and you're always gone and they don't tell your ass that you need to be at home, you are the problem. You need to kick their ass to the curb and tend to your child and tend to yourself. If you are in a relationship and there's no food in the refrigerator, but motherfuckers can have you all out at the club or laid up at their house or they laid up at your house, you need to get rid of their ass and take care of your business. Now, anybody that got a problem with this video, exactly my point. If it ain't true, don't get mad. And if it is, take a look in the mirror and say, okay, what can I do to improve this? Start off small. Every day, love yourself a little more. Look in the mirror and say, I can do this. I am a woman. I can do this. If you are a man, the same thing applies. Don't be chasing after no chicks. You can't replace what's supposed to be there. Nobody can replace anything. It's not up to you. Only thing that is up to you is to take care of yourself and to take care of your home. If you are at home, ladies or men, and your shit is dirty, clean it up. If you walking around and name brands and decked out all the fucking time, but your house is dirty, you're a dirty person. You have a dirty mind and you need to cleanse it. And if you got grown-ass kids, they need some responsibilities, especially if they're living with you. And you can't expect your children to respect you when you don't respect yourself. If you got your own place and you're a single woman or a single man and your child is there, don't bring 1,500 people into your house. If they can't kick it with you in the daytime, they can't kick it with you in the nighttime. If you can't be by yourself, you don't need to be with nobody else because you don't know how to be with. If you can't be with yourself, how the fuck you gonna be with somebody else? That doesn't make sense. And then you create a cesspool of ignorance, and then you want to snap and wonder why your kids act crazy or why you can't get them to behave, because they don't have any structure and you don't have any structure. And half of you women and half of you men, including myself out here, have had some good ass home training and just neglect it because we want to do things our way. If you've been hurt before, shit happens. You have to learn to let that go. Otherwise, all that shit that you hold on to, you put it off on your children and you put it off on the people around you. Now, if somebody is trying to give you parenting advice, don't yell at them. Don't snap at them. Take it and, use it. Because don't nobody say nothing for no reason. And, you should always be able to learn and take advice from anybody and everybody, especially if it's needed. A lot of us out here pray for guidance, whether or not we be at the club all the time or whether or not we be doing this or that. We still pray and we still have feelings and we still have hopes and dreams. Don't block your blessings because you want some dick, or because you want to go to the club, or because you want some hair, because you want some clothes, or because you want to party, or because you don't want to face reality. Because then you create a problem. So I just had to say that because it needs to be a change and a shift in the minds of our young men and our young women. And I'm not just talking about people of ethnic descent or whatever the hell people want to call it. I'm talking about everybody in the world that's on this shit. It's not designated to just one culture. Everybody in every culture is on this shit at some point. We are better than that. We are getting stronger each day and we are growing. But we just have to be more aware. We have to pay more attention. Otherwise, everything that we do is going to be in vain. So, I think I said everything I had to say for this evening. This morning. It's like 5 seconds. Alright, night night.